Hello everyone, I am Eron Hoxha. I come from Kosovo. I'm actually a third year academic student at Faculty of Physical Education and Sports at University of Prishtina. I'm also an international intern of IOHSK organization. I wanted to thank Dr. Hosung for the opportunity given to present in this March conference. Also his help during all the time. Now I'm going to speak for popular and traditional games in Kosovo. Sport and traditional games in Kosovo have established tradition and played a pivotal role in Kosovo. In Skanderbeg's time, 4038, 4043, they were involved in the fight against the Ottomans. The first national festival of Lura Popolore, LP, Lura Popolore stands for Popular Games, was held in 1971 in two areas, Peshkop and Lushnje. In 1981, it became the fourth festival in Shkodër. In addition to the leisure, fun, and occasion for LP, Lora Popolore, were assemblies and popular family holidays. The main types of attire are distinguished by age, man-shooter targets, wrestling, horse racing, etc. Children had also games with running and jumping. Lasha, Kukavsheti. Kukavsheti stands for hide and seek. Girls had games and dance with songs. Kosovo has found it difficult to preserve traditions because it has always been under the occupation of others, namely the last one, Serbia. The enemy at the time, since the 1970s, it tended to diminish our traditions and even to destroy them. However, the Kosovo's people, children, adults, and the elderly of different generations have achieved the continuation of the cultivation of traditions in general. We have here three old photos. First is PI in 1917, a place for traditional and popular games. The second one or middle one is chariot ride, a family during the chariot ride. And the third one is old man wearing traditional clothes, 1917. Let's start with the first game, the game of lines, Loja Vijave, in Albanian, Loja Vijave. A game almost known by all. This is a game that is mainly played by young girls who, in order not to hinder mothers in housework, they have played the game of line using a tile and squares down on a dry ground, where after jumping with one foot, they had to move the board through the squares from the beginning to the end, depending on the composition of the rules of the game. Even this game, according to legend, has had its own ways of playing. Sometimes the chains are based on the different settlements. Game Buzz Tsap, in Albanian Lua Buzz Tsap. In the village of the Bujanovce Highlands, other settled games have been more popular. They are also played by the elderly, known as Buzz Tsap, a game which is played not only for leisure but also for different celebrations. This game does not have a limit of in the number of players. Begins with one turning his back and find the person who slapped him by hand. Although it is fun in nature, young people misuse the game, and the elderly also got angry by consecutive slaps until the person who slapped is coughed. This game has been played in almost all occasions of Preševo Volley, and in some cases, even today, it is practiced by young people when electricity or internet is not available. Game throwing a stone, Loja Hedja e Gurit. Stone throwing is a game that has been very popular in Kosovo. This game requires muscle strength, coordination, space awareness, etc. The winner is decided by the throwing distance of a stone that weighs about 6 to 8 kilograms, or by the closest distance to the pit. The number of throwing rounds can be predetermined among players. Repeated throwing a stone require muscle endurance and strength. Specific rules, unfortunately, have not been documented. The game Pebble, or in Albanian language, Loja Guraleset. The game Guraleset is played with five small stones. Dexterity and speed are critical skills to win the game. Five small stones or pebble are folded and stacked at an angle. Players are divided into two groups or three or more. A ball is needed for the game. One team is defensive, one team is defense while the other is offensive. The defensive team must protect the folded stones so that the offensive team, that one who attack the pebbles, cannot hit the ball and knock down the folded pebbles. Uh, Traditional games after the independence of Kosovo on February 17, 2008. During the first weekend in August, Kosovo's people from war and wide descended on the country's mountain southwest for the annual Rugova traditional games in order to participate in a series of almost forgotten but time-honored sports and customs. Not unlike Scotland's Highland Games, Rugova events usually test the physical skills and strength of man, including wrestling, stone throwing, tug of war, and tree climbing competitions. This is a photo of the game tug of war in the city of Peja. These are two different photos of game tree climbing that they were actually a competition in Rugova Mountains. Another game that is called oil wrestling is a traditional game of Kosovo's games. Uh, we have a short video here of demonstrating the oil wrestling. This was a short video that this game was held in Peja after the independence. Okay, so I want to thank you everyone for listening to me during this presentation. Faleminderit stands for thank you, so thank you everyone for listening to me. Have a good time.